Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
This is Shayna Baszler, and you're watching Going In Raw.
This is the knockout artist, Cassius Ohno, and you're Going In Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to, found youtube.com/Steven Larson, taped live at twitch.tv/Steven Larson. Follow us there, and also we're available in the audio realm wherever podcasts can be found. Leave us a rating, review, or a comment. If you're listening to my voice right now, if you're watching us on YouTube, hey, smash that like button. Let's try to get this one up to 400 likes. I just don't know how well it's going to perform or not. Personally, I thought NXT was a blast last night. I thought that, creatively speaking, they fixed in one episode a lot of the issues that they were having lately, and yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I thought especially the Tony Nese Kushida match was exceptional.
Yeah,
that was tons of fun. I'm still confused about where they're going with this whole Velveteen Dream, Finn Balor, Adam Cole thing. Was there something going on with Adam Cole so he couldn't show up, and then they didn't know if he was going to be able to be around, so they were going to do the detour to Finn? But then nope, Cole's fine. He shows up. They do this thing with Finn, so someone pulls a Randy Orton on the shit in the locker room. Maybe dumps in it, and then, or is this all just a way to get like a three-way dance going at some point? You know what I mean?
Yeah, if we're going strict, so like obviously we love to just dive into the deep end on backstage stuff, on the whys of production.
Yeah.
I can see, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
Like, was Adam Cole injured? Because it just seemed like an interesting creative choice to have him stay at home for 3 or 4 weeks and then to return now.
I suspect this is my complete speculation on my part, and these are always good questions to ask. Although I think that I got past it as soon as I saw him. I was like, oh, thank God he's here, because once you see Dream interact with him, I thought that this was the first week that I really felt that Dream looked anything like a main eventer and a guy. I mean, they had him pin the champion. That always helps. But he looked like $1 million. He looked a lot more engaged. This week just felt like a very confident episode of NXT. As for the whys, my suspicion is they didn't know exactly how they were going to approach this stuff. I forget exactly. Did they bulk tape already? Did they bulk tape stuff already? No, they're about to bulk tape. They haven't.
This is the last live week, and then it's bi-weekly tapings. Yeah.
So I'm thinking that maybe they thought to themselves, "Hey, these are the roster members that we need up to this point. Let's just keep Adam. You know, he's great on the promo from home, dodging Velveteen Dream. So let's just do that." And he videotaped it. They probably planned out 3 weeks because I think it's been about 3 weeks since he's been at home, because maybe they figured, we don't know what's going to happen. Let's plan this out, have him do these promos, stick to the plan. And then once they were freed up to bring people in, they're like, okay, we can just bring them in. As far as the Balor versus Dream thing, I was thinking about how they were going to get out of having a winner of that match. And I figured maybe that was how they did it. Even if it was part of the plan, I was definitely okay with it, because there were a couple things this week that I liked that all set up some intrigue. And that was one of them. I love when they do the kind of thing where you open an episode on a whodunit, on a, whoa, something's happening right now. It's got a sense of urgency.
It seemed just an interesting choice, where it seemed like they're going to detour with this Velveteen Dream Cole business. And then just the next week, it's almost like, it felt like a very Vince thing, where we're going to set something up. No, never mind. We're just going to not worry about that. We're going to continue on with this particular storyline.
Like they were running down Balor saying, hey, are you going to resign? Are you going to resign? And then he doesn't.
Yeah. And then he's like, nah, maybe not. And they're like, all right, we're going to have someone ransack your locker room and poop in your bag. And you're going to
yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, for my mindset, when I saw that, I was like, okay, they just decide to change their mind, which, it's their prerogative, I suppose. If it was something that they had, if there was more heat between Dream and Finn other than that one altercation, and this happened, I'm like, okay, there's a wrinkle to the story. But when I see this, I just kind of feel like Maybe they just changed their mind.
Yeah, I know. I definitely get that feeling. It was. There's a way I think they could have done it that would have been more. You're right. It felt rushed a little bit. So I can definitely see that. I mean, it's the thing that I do like about it though is that it presents a mini whodunit. It's like, okay, so it's either Imperium, it's probably them, might be Karrion Kross, because who knows how expansive his agenda is going to be. Is he just going to focus on Ciampa? Does he have a wider operation going? I don't know. So I kind of like that aspect to it, but I totally see your point, because it says moments ago this happens, and then Dream comes out and he does his Balor impression, and then Cole interrupts him. All feels a bit rushed. Like, how would Dream know to come out? I don't know. So I definitely feel that. But the thing that I liked about it, regardless, is they're moving ahead with stuff. You know, I like when you're pushing it, when you're pushing the story. The biggest story, according to our friendos, anyways, because I put up a poll, because there are a lot of things going on with last night's episode. And I wanted to know what people felt was sort of the biggest deal coming out of last night. And I think this is a fun conversation to have, and kind of an interesting one. Drake Maverick. Obviously, he was released last Wednesday. And in his sort of farewell video, his, I guess, reaction video to it, very teary-eyed, they even used it on the broadcast. Yeah. He says, I've been released, but they're letting me go ahead with the Cruiserweight tournament. What do you think is the real story here? Because this could be any number of things here.
Yeah. If it would be cynical about it.
Which is easy to do with WWE.
Yes. You could think, okay, they did actually release a bunch of people. Hey, let's make a story out of somebody being released. Hey, Drake's in this Cruiserweight title tournament. We could say he was released or release him only with the idea that, hey, don't worry, we're going to bring you back and make it a moment. Just to capitalize on the news of all the releases and try to use that for storyline purposes to give Drake a push, which, I mean, if it wasn't actually tied to a bunch of releases, it wouldn't be that huge of a deal. Like, if strictly kayfabe wise, like, sorry, Drake, we don't really have a spot for you anymore. Yeah. By the way, we're going to keep you around for this tournament because we already announced you in it. But after that, we'll be saying goodbye to you. And it's strictly done kayfabe, totally fine. There's
one situation in which this would be like it, because it's a bit wrong to do that, right? There's one situation in which it's not horribly wrong to mess around with the idea of people being released, and that is, well, maybe there's a couple, but he is actually released, and they say they get backstage. They gave him the option, said, hey, do you want to continue with the Cruiserweight tournament? We'll have you go out looking really good. You put in some good matches. We make a story out of you've been released, and you can. And if he's completely on board with it, if he says, yeah, that's great, that sounds good, and it'll help me, in the long run. Hey,
Drake, we made you pee yourself on a pay-per-view. We'll give you some good rub on your way out the door.
Yeah. So I think that's a situation where it'd be, okay, that's okay to be doing this, but even if you say this, he was announced in the names of layoffs. It's so seemingly Sarah Logan backstage, a lot of people piped up and said, whoa. There's a lot to like with her. Keep her. And apparently they have. We didn't see her on Raw, but they talked about her endlessly.
Yeah. She was mentioned on Raw a ton.
Right. So maybe somebody piped up for Drake Maverick after he did that video and said, wait a second, this dude actually brings a lot. He can be, he's a really good Cruiserweight wrestler.
He's a good talker.
He's a great talker. He's a great manager. He's a great comedy guy. And everything you've ever given him, he's elevated. And then they came back around to him and said, hey, we're going to keep you in the tournament, and we're going to keep you in the company. Somehow after the tournament, he's not going to win this thing. No.
I mean, a victory for Drake Maverick will be a situation like we saw with Triple H after Cedric lost to Kota Ibushi. Yeah. Where he loses last match and Regal or Triple H comes out and is like, all right, we'll talk. We'll have a conversation.
Yeah.
Kayfabe wise.
Yeah, sure.
Storyline purposes wise, to try to keep you around. I mean, another thing is maybe a handful of these people they released during the course of the conversation, let them know they were being released. It was like, this is a temporary thing. We're doing it to cut back. Let's get through this financial call that's happening today. And once we see how everything shakes out, you're top of the list being brought back in.
I mean,
it's furlough, so to say, but we need that money off the books completely to get through the first quarter or so.
You'd like to think, because I think a lot of companies are doing this right now. I think the unemployment numbers are like 26 million, which is I think 16% of the labor force, of the workforce. I know. You'd like to think that maybe they said, hey, like you said, we got to get you off the books, but you're eligible for, unemployment.
You get 10 weeks of unemployment.
Yeah.
In 10 weeks time. And then we can try to bring you back.
Right. Like, that's what you'd like to think. If that's the case, I have no idea. We have no idea. We just like to think, you like to think the best of people, even though it's the WWE, you can't really think the best of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, if the real cynical angle is everybody was released except for him, and his release was a total work, that's fucked. That is not, if that's the case, that is not cool. So, and I don't think it is. I honestly don't think it is. But with the WWE, you never know.
You can't discount the possibility.
You never, especially one of his best friends, EC3, seemingly was actually released.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
apparently, Braun Strowman, his actual other best friend, was like really upset about both of them getting released.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So hopefully that's not the case. And I would doubt it is. It might be some form of, gray, and maybe they'll keep him around. Maybe they won't. I don't know.
Yeah, but I would assume if they were going to go ahead with the storyline based on the video that he put out, I would assume it'd be on the understanding that Drake would be cool with using his release as part of his story.
Yeah.
Because if they approached him and said, "Hey, we're going to do this," and he was like, "I don't feel comfortable with that," and they're like, "Well, do you want to stick around or not?" That kind of thing. That would be kind of gross. But
I mean, look, there's the kind of thing where it's not too dissimilar from a situation you and I found ourselves in when we got released, and then they're like, oh, by the way, we don't have anybody to produce actual content around here because they either left or we just got rid of them. Do you guys want to come back? And then we were like, well, we're gonna need a decent amount of money to do that.
Yeah, we're gonna need to see how much you really value us.
So anyways, so maybe that's the case. I don't know what the case is, but in any event, I think it's what I'm seeing on TV with him is a very interesting story. That's one thing that I really loved about all the matches, is one thing we've sort of come to really understand with all this empty arena stuff is what really needs a crowd and what doesn't. The thing about the Cruiserweight tournament is these guys are used to being on, a lot of these guys used to being on 205. And what do we know about 205?
Everybody leaves.
There's no crowd. And so the fact that this is part of a tournament, the fact that you've got Jake Atlas, this guy who's trying to prove himself now. You got Jake Atlas, you got Drake Maverick, who's trying to stick around. You've got Kushida, who hasn't really done a whole lot in NXT, but he's a legend. And by the way, he's going to win this thing. But then you've got the debuting Eligio del Fantasma.
Yeah.
You got a lot of stories. And
you got Jack Gallagher, whatever's going on with him.
I'll do 30 minutes on him, man. So you've got...
Okay, let's not even bother going through matches. Let's do results. Let's just talk about Dexter Lumis, Drake Maverick, and then what the heck's going on with Jack Gallagher? That's enough to fill a whole episode.
It really is. It really is. But there was this, I thought, but that's why I think like the Cruiserweight tournament, it's like, I honestly didn't miss a crowd.
Each of these matches had story strong enough to carry it without a crowd being there. Plus you get the inherent drama of a tournament.
And they didn't overstay their welcome. None of these matches were that long. Not like, and dude, NXT went through this phase where it's like, well, we got nothing else. Let's have a couple of 30-minute matches. And it's like, I like a good 4-star match, but do we really need that many 30-minute matches?
It honestly gets exhausting to have
it does
excellent long matches week in and week out.
There was a lot going on in this episode, and the matches were quick, and they were all pretty darn good for the most part. But we'll just start at the beginning and we'll get through it.
Yeah, so after they announced that Finn disappeared, Velveteen Dream does a promo. He does Finn's pose on the turnbuckle to start, and he says, "New levels, new devils" a few times. He says, but his experience, he's just dealing with the same old demon. He's been stood up by the demon, Finn Balor. He's about to correct himself. He's interrupted by Adam Cole, Bebe. Adam Cole says, "Hey, people assume the winner of this Finn Velveteen Dream match would be the number one contender. Pretty convenient for you, Dream, that Finn no-showed." And Cole thinks Dream is trying to weasel his way into a title match. He's like, Cole says, "I have no idea what happened to Finn, but I do know what's going to happen to you, Dream." And then the rest of Undisputed Era attack him from behind. Cole joins in. Keith Lee's out to make the save. He clears house and then pounces Adam Cole into Roderick Strong.
Now, this was another thing I liked because you're finally having Keith Lee start to maybe make good. And it's not necessarily, hey, I'm going to take that title off of you, Cole, but it's which of these titles. I mean, he could help take the title off him. It just won't go to him. It'll go to Velveteen Dream. So it's like they have a history. He comes in. There's some motivation there. That's what I liked about tonight, man. There's a lot of motivation going on.
It made sense. Sensical. Next, we had Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Nox take on Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. Shotzi she's a damn star, man.
I know.
She's so good. She's so fluid. She's so crisp in the ring.
Yeah,
she's really good. The whole stretch where she was going after Dakota Kai was great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good. I really liked how they booked Raquel here. Mm-hmm. It was sort of the appropriate way to book sort of a monster, a big, strong person, because you just have Tegan Nox and Shotzi just trying to chip away, and nothing will get her down until finally, I think it was Tegan Nox ended up.
Yeah, kicks her in the head. Yeah,
kicks her in the head, and she gets down to her knees. But then in the end,
she catches her fall away slam. Yeah,
yeah, and it was too much. She did the one arm power bomb for the win, and
Shotzi,
Raquel, she looks great. Like she in terms of how she carries herself in the ring as a powerhouse wrestler, it's really effective. And she does. I mean, she almost looks like some sort of Frankenstein creature. The way she lumbers about, but she'll never get busted down, you know?
Yeah. I wonder if Triple H said to her, "Hey, you need to be a Terminator," like he told the Jackson Riker.
I tried to tell that to Jackson Riker, but...
And look what happened to him. He got called up.
yeah, exactly.
You listen to me, you get called up too.
Big star, he got called up. Now he's on SmackDown, the Blue Brand. Which, by the way, tomorrow night, or Friday night.
Have you seen on WWE.com, they have banner ads for that?
I love it.
It's all...
I love
Triple
it.
H pointing at a past version of himself.
That's love really it. I was dying when
good.
I first saw that.
That's really good. Next, announced that Dream and Keith Lee team up to take on Adam Cole, Bebe, and Roderick Strong in the main event. And then we had a replay of Drake's goodbye video. He did on Twitter, a bit of that, and then there's a brand new video package with Drake Maverick where he's walking around, I assume somewhere in Orlando.
Very serious.
Yeah, very serious. Saying he's got a new story to tell. He's got 3 matches left. Could be in the last 3 matches. He's going to put everything he has into those matches because he has to. If he's going out swinging as the NXT Cruiserweight champion.
Hey, let me ask you something. How big of a star would Drake Maverick be if he were 6'6"?
Oh, man.
Wouldn't he be the all-time draw?
If he was like a foot taller, I know.
Right?
I know.
Yeah. He would, because
hell, if he had 7, if not even a foot, 7 inches.
How tall do you think he is?
He's shorter than I think.
I think he's like 5'5" or something.
Yeah.
Really
if he was 7
short.
inches, he'd be over 6 feet tall. I mean,
okay, yeah.
Seth Rollins is 6'2".
But if we're talking all-time draw, he needs to be at least 6'6".
Yeah, probably.
Well, Stone Cold was 6'2", I think.
Yeah, Stone Cold was
6'1". But man, he's so good looking. He's a good wrestler, and he's a great talker. He would be so much money.
5'9". There's no way he's 5'9".
Not a chance. No, that's very.
Yeah, he's probably like 5'4".
I like this video package though. It was good. Again, you're diving into story stuff here. It's approaching. Should you be messing around with because of these releases and stuff? But I don't know. I like the story that I'm seeing on TV, anyways.
Yeah. The next we get Drake Maverick against Jake Atlas. Block A action in this Cruiserweight tournament.
Yep.
And it was a really fun match. Drake was fighting with probably the perfect amount of desperation.
Yeah.
I would expect his next match, which is kind of make or break for him. If he loses his next match, he's out of it at contention. I know it's round robin, but if you're 0-2 and you get 3 round robin matches, you're done.
It's just
you're going to make it to the final. So next week is got to be peak or next match. Sorry, I don't know if it's next week. Next match has to be pretty much peak desperation for Drake Maverick. But at this point, it was a balance of I'm walking in this confident, because I have to be, and also I'm desperate because I need to win this match. Next week, as we saw the promo later on, I think the confidence aspects be completely stripped away. It's going to be pure desperation.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's taking on Tony Nese next time, but Tony Nese said something about him. Like he doesn't care about a Drake Maverick story. So I'd anticipate it's going to be Drake versus Tony Nese next time.
Did they do the? Did I see it online, or did they do this on TV? The interview where he was like in the stairwell. Was that
that was on TV? Yeah.
Okay.
That's when he's like, hey, maybe I'm starting to think maybe everybody was right about me.
Yeah, because he's saying, he's like, I'm not just fighting my opponent, I'm fighting myself. I thought that was a really good promo too.
Yeah. So yeah, Tony Nese in a .com video said he has no sympathy for Drake Maverick. So I'd anticipate he would be Drake's next opponent, and that's a potential W for Drake. Because if they're going to really milk the drama of this, he's got to get a win next week.
Oh, for sure.
Then he'll lose to Kushida in the final.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, boy, if there was a crowd for Drake Maverick, oh my God, be blowing up. Yeah,
this is a fun match. Good showing for Jake Atlas
for sure.
This is only his second TV match, I believe.
Yeah, and
his first one was pretty short. That finisher of his is pretty cool.
It's really cool.
Rope into a DDT. Yeah,
it is. As a finish, though. How often do you find yourself in a position to do a cartwheel on the top rope?
Well, here's the thing. If you're a professional wrestler, you make sure you have that opportunity.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it's a fairly elaborate setup, but there's a lot of finishers that have a fairly elaborate setup.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. But like you always say, isn't it nice to have a finish where it can come out of nowhere?
It is. But I'm sure, granted, Jake Atlas has not been wrestling that long, 3 or 4 years, but I'd assume if he wants his finish to have maximum impact, he's found in those 3 or 4 years several creative ways to get into it.
Okay, fair enough.
So let's give him some time.
We'll see.
And granted, it's not going to be as simple as an RKO out of nowhere, but it remains to be seen.
I liked his interview afterwards. It wasn't like it was fairly convincing because he's like, man, great win for me. I'm feeling like I'm on the top of the world. And right as he says that, Drake Maverick is being helped to the back, and he looks back and he says, Drake, I feel bad right now.
Yeah, it was under his breath. It was really under his breath.
It was. And then he looks right in the camera and he says, I'm going to win or something like that.
One down, 2 more to go.
Yeah, right.
People are going to know my story. I'm going to be the next champ. This next part made me laugh. So we start rolling Keith Lee's video package from last week, and this like Damian Priest's response to it.
Yeah.
And
I don't give a damn about Keith's story.
I don't give a damn about Keith's story.
I fast forwarded during that part of NXT. I thought it was stupid. It was too long.
Keith Lee is only granted title shots people he knows he can beat. He didn't make that triple threat match that I was in. Regal did that. He handpicked everybody else because he knew he could beat them.
He handpicked Cameron Grimes. He knew he could beat him.
Says, I get why Keith Lee has avoided me. I'm the only one that can put limits on him.
Yeah, that was good. I don't care.
This next match was a banger.
He's got just a great. That voice is amazing.
I know, but it's his delivery is so cheesy. Though.
He's so like late '90s movie villain.
I know,
because they all were in the club. All the movie villains in the late '90s were clubbers. They were all like in the club somewhere.
Yeah.
Especially the vampire ones. I'm just thinking of the Blade movies. I'm pretty sure all those villains were like clubber guys.
Yeah. Let's talk this next match. This was a banger. This match was really fun. This Kushida Tony Nese match. So much creativity. I loved how creative it was.
Yeah.
It was tons of fun.
God dang that. I don't want to skip ahead to the finish, but god damn that finish.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, Kushida would do that in New Japan, do the flip off the top rope, either right into the hoverboard lock or while he had it. It's kind of it's the first time, but we haven't seen a lot in WWE.
I think we saw it. I thought we saw it relatively recently.
He did something like that into the arm bar.
Yeah, okay.
Cross arm breaker, but I don't remember him doing it with the hoverboard lock. But that bit where, so Tony Nese, like it's really technical stuff to start. There's a break in the ropes. Tony Nese kind of pie faces Kushida. Kushida starts hitting him with forearms, and then Nese hits him with a shot to the throat. Does the Macho Man thing where he jumps over the top rope. Drapes Kushida's throat across the top rope, throws him around ringside a lot, puts it back in the ring, gets a 2. I love this spot. Kushida's going for his handspring back elbow, and Nese slips out of the ring, and while Kushida's doing the handspring, he takes his arms out from under him.
Yeah, that's good.
And then grabs him while he's by the ropes and basically throws him out of the ring into the barricade.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
That was rad, yeah.
Really good, clever stuff. Like the bit where Nese is going for his pump handle slam. Kushida uses that opportunity to lock in the hoverboard lock, and then Nese powers out of it into a really solid looking Northern Light suplex. There's just all sorts of really fun stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of shotes, some palm strikes, but in the end, they're up top. Kushida locks in hoverboard lock and then flips himself and Nese off the top rope, really sinks it in. Tony Nese has to tap. He even had a chance to watch this one. It was really good.
Yeah, it was really
Match
good.
of the night, I would say.
Who do you think, is anybody going to go winless in this thing?
So
It's got to be Gallagher, right?
Yeah, Gallagher kind of has to. I don't see Gallagher beating Kushida.
No.
It's either be Gallagher or Tony Nese going winless.
So is Fantasma and Kushida in different blocks?
No, I think everybody's in the A block today.
Okay.
I think.
I know Drake was in A block because it said so on the thumbnail that I used. Okay.
Let me double check here.
Because I mean, regardless, I think the well, it's not really. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see what we got here. Block A. Kushida, Drake Maverick, Tony Nese, Jake Atlas. That's only 4. That's right. Yeah. So everybody. So sorry.
So Fantasma and Gallagher
are in the B block.
The finals got to be Kushida Fantasma, right?
Let me see.
Because I firmly think that Kushida is going to win this whole thing.
Yeah, I kind of feel that's the case.
And down the line, whenever Devlin's able to escape Ireland, that unification bout's going to be
really good. So
hook.
Swerve, Fantasma, Tozawa, and Gallagher in the B block.
Okay. Tozawa's going to have a good showing.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I kind of feel like if anybody in B block's going to finish winless, it's going to be Gallagher.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. But
I don't see Swerve going without winning a match.
Yeah.
Tozawa's
that'd be surprising.
Man, Swerve versus Kushida would be really good in the finals.
Yeah, but it's going to be Fantasma.
Probably.
He's $1 million, dude. He's so good. And he's been the only one who's been able to fend off the attackers, but we'll get to that later. Before that, I love this shit, man. Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher.
That was so good.
Oh, my God. Number one, did you notice the shirt that Thatcher was wearing? A plain gray shirt. No logos.
That's why I didn't notice it.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, my God. He's the only guy I've seen to wear. There's not even a WWE logo. Nothing. It's just a gray T-shirt. Apparently, he doesn't even have like a smartphone.
Yeah, I heard that too. No social media, no smartphone. He is a time traveler.
So Riddle is all about calling everybody beautiful. He's like, yeah, I miss Pete. I miss his beautiful blue eyes. Every time I look in Timothy's blue eyes, it reminds me of Pete. And then Thatcher looks at Riddle in the face and says, they're brown. Oh, God damn, dude.
It was pretty good.
It was hilarious. Yeah. Timothy Stallion's a beautiful man, but every time I look into his eyes.
Oh, it's so good.
They're brown. Yeah. Oh, man. Matt Riddle's the best. He's the absolute best. But Thatcher was playing off really genuine across from him.
He was.
It was awesome.
He was. Next, we had another Karrion Kross video package, this time with Scarlett Bordeaux doing the voiceover, it sounded like.
Although Byron simply called her Scarlett, I think the Bordeaux is going to be gone. I like this, though. I thought this was cool. She's really good at that. She's like she has a really great voice for like the dramatic stuff. Mm-hmm. And I thought the dialogue was good. I forgot what she said, but it didn't really matter.
It's all, doomsday, end of the world stuff. So.
Yeah, there was like a shot of her. It was very cinematic stuff. Like there was a shot of her like walking into like some car lights. It was all like very dramatic and silhouette-y. Man, it looked great. I thought it was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Next up, we had Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae enjoying a nice romantic dinner.
I loved this. It was a little on the long side.
Yeah.
And I wish my only real complaint about it was I wish they wouldn't have gone into the herky-jerky like black and white stuff. I thought it's more unsettling if you just keep it like sort of normally lit, you know what I mean?
You normally lit and you have the you operate with the assumption that this is like a nice romantic dinner.
Yes.
And then they're talking about all this stuff with really dark undercurrents. You know?
Right. You give it the American Beauty type treatment. You know what I mean?
It's more unsettling if the presentation is very basic.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of, stuff working underneath. Agreed. I don't think they'd do the audio effects and then the shaky black and white camera stuff. I thought that was a bit much. But.
I could see production people, maybe the editor or whatever, whoever's in charge of the shit, getting antsy at how long it was and being like, "Oh, I don't know if it's gonna work this
We got to
long."
mix this up visually. That's entirely possible.
Yeah, I do like he had the cup in a glass case as the centerpiece of the table, though. I really liked this, man. I thought it was.
Did you see
really
Dijakovic's tweet about that?
I was gonna bring that up. Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
I'm gonna Let's see here. I had it. I sort of did it. I think I retweeted it.
It was pretty dang funny. So while you find that, I'll go through. So
it's nice right here. It says,
all right.
Johnny was so proud when his wife finally touched his genitals for the first time that he had the occasion commemoratively encased in glass.
That's so good.
Hijack is the freaking best.
That's so dang funny. That was so dang funny. Anyway, so we have a nice romantic dinner. Johnny's talking about their wedding day, saying it was his fairy tale life come true. His whole career has been a fairy tale. He was the first Triple Crown NXT champ. No one thought he could do it. He did. Came the heart and soul of NXT. No one thought he could do it. He did. He proved to be the better man than Tommaso Ciampa. No one thought he could do it, but he did. And they feel great, though, because they're living in reality. The NXT he lives in, he describes as a toxic wasteland.
Mm-hmm.
Only crappy people succeed. Because he says, I thought being a good guy would get me ahead. Talk about doing autograph signings, media events, all that stuff. And he says, nope. I'm tired of saying yes to everything, while a dirtbag like Tommaso Ciampa gets everything. Says he's tired of waving the NXT flag on a mountain of unappreciation. And Candice talks about how she felt that she's been underappreciated too.
So yeah, at this point, she brings dinner to him.
Yeah.
She serves dinner and she sits down and she starts talking. I really love that they brought this up, the misuse of Candice LeRae since she's been there. And she says that. She says, since I've been here, I've been the locker room leader, helping all these other women come first while I come second.
Yeah, she says, I've been the big sister to the division. I've always eaten second while everybody else ate first.
Yeah.
I was always there for them. And where were they when I needed somebody? And she says, I'm not going to eat second anymore. Johnny says, yes, actually, I appreciate you. You eat first.
He says, you fix this wonderful meal for us. Go ahead. You deserve it. He says, eat first because you deserve it.
Deserve it. And it says they're going to start taking what they deserve. And that's when they really do a good long shot. And you see Johnny's cup in the glass case. It said, in the past, we've separated our business from our personal lives. We're not going to do that anymore. We're going to tear apart NXT and rebuild it in our image. The sun will shine on NXT again when they win their respective titles. We will, essentially rule over NXT as NXT champion, women's NXT champion. Then the good guys will win and get what they deserve.
I love this. I thought this was granted, there was a lot of mixed feelings on the blow off between Ciampa and him, but I do feel like that served to introduce this, which it did feel like a really, really solid, clean slate. Mm-hmm. They have, as you always say, what is their, what was your main gripe about Sanity? Their manifesto.
They never had a manifesto.
So Johnny and Candice, they have their manifesto.
Yeah.
They have their motivation. It's a clean slate. And I love that because it rejuvenates them. What are they going to do next? Their goal is to become, and we saw the same thing with the Undisputed Era. They laid out their plan, going to be draped in gold. And I like this for Johnny and Candice because it reinvigorates the motivation to get gold. And it's probably going to happen. And I'm going to love it, man. I think it's going to be great. I hope it is anyways.
Yeah,
because Candice LeRae definitely deserves it.
It's a huge dragonfly in my backyard. That's enormous. See all the wildlife. Spring is here.
Yeah. It's going to be a beautiful
day today.
Life
is in full bloom. It is. So we had that Drake Maverick interview next. Oh, sorry, the Io Shirai video package next. She's got a match at some point against Charlotte. However, next week it's going to be Mia Yim versus Charlotte. More on that later. Then the Drake Maverick interview in the stairwell. He puts over Jake Atlas. And he says every other athlete in this tournament is fighting their opponent. I'm fighting my opponent and myself. And he says maybe everyone was right about me all along.
Yeah.
Next, Mia Yim versus Jessie Kamea. And commentary, overtly said this. that this is Kamea, body type very similar to Charlotte, even the kind of same athletic background in terms of volleyball. So essentially, it's like, okay, we'll put Mia Yim in the ring against someone who's kind of like Charlotte Flair. She gets a win, so you think maybe she has a chance to get Charlotte Flair next week.
Did they use the term enhancement when they were describing this match? Because I swear once Jesse was coming out, they said something like, this is an enhancement match for Mia Yim.
I don't know if it's this match, but Jericho more or less said that on AEW.
Yeah, but he was being very tongue-in-cheek with the wrestling terminology.
I don't remember.
Okay. I had to do a double take. I was like, did I just hear that right? But I didn't care enough to rewind. But that's what it was. In any event, that's what it was.
As soon as, like shortly after the match began, I was like, oh, okay, they're doing this because Mia's facing Charlotte at some point. And, as commentary said, Jessie Kamea, she's tall. She's got a background in volleyball. There's a lot of similarities in her athletic background to Charlotte, telling this story so that Mia Yim has a match against Charlotte. You think, okay, this is the type of battle Mia Yim's in for. Mm-hmm. Mia Yim wins with Protect Your Neck. Charlotte meets her ringside after the match ends and says, hey, I wanted to have my first match as champion against you. What do you say? Mia says, hey, I accept your challenge. And Charlotte says, yeah, 5 years ago, Mia, you helped make me a star. You're a good hand.
Oh.
And you know what? Next week, I'm going to make you a star, too.
Oh, man.
Ow.
The funny thing about this, too, is just how, Charlotte realized that because she was the only person with a mic, to do this to the other person just makes her seem like an interviewer.
I know.
And so she just she held it halfway, and she could half hear Mia Yim. But in any event,
it was out of breath from her match.
Right, exactly. This wasn't staged the best manner possible.
No, this probably should have been backstage or something.
Probably.
Let Mia come back through the curtain.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte's waiting there.
Yeah.
Do that.
Get the boom mic going and you're good.
Exactly. Let Mia catch her breath.
Mia did a good job looking completely and totally insulted, though.
Well, she had a reason to be.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, here we go, dude. We had a Jack Gallagher video package. Man... So he debuted with these tattoos on 205, right?
Correct.
Okay.
This is his first match in NXT since he got all tatted up.
Okay. Man, if you're... So he talks about it's sort of it's a bit like Fight Club Gallagher, He's up until this point I've been a joke, but I'm a fighter, and he's still going by gentleman. And he starts talking about his tattoos. He's like, shit, what does he say about the tattoos?
Says it's like a representation of the pain I could dole out.
I get, yeah. And there's shots of the actual
or the pain he could take
happening.
The pain he could take. Yeah.
Yeah. Are any of the tattoos on his elbow or in the nipple area? Those are the Battleship kind of goes from nipple to nipple. Yeah, it does. True. And
then he has that one arm that's pretty much all tatted up all over the place.
I've heard that the ribs also are one of the most painful places.
I would expect where the skin is relatively thin.
Yeah. But I've heard that about the elbow because it's right here,
Yeah, thinner skin, yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know if he has tattoos there, but maybe if he really wants to prove how tough he is.
Here's the thing. The tattoos under themselves, not my style. They are a very particular style, which seems very old-timey, especially that clipper ship on his chest.
It looks like Ed Hardy. It's Ed Hardy.
Yeah, it's got a very old-timey type retro vintage feel.
Yeah.
But then he's got too much other crap going on. I feel like any individual element of what he's doing now, if he was consistent on that element, might work. If his packaging was, that scene in the Nick where there's the underground fighting thing happening.
Yeah.
If that was his gimmick, his character, the tattoos would fit with that. It would be consistent. It would fit. Again, I'm not huge
on the chest. Just doesn't work in any.
I know. I'm not huge on it from an aesthetic sense. The actual image of the giant battleship with stars and stuff around it. It's not my thing. That being said, if that was his gimmick, it would at least be consistent, and I can get on board with something that's consistent. There's just too many variables at play. That robe thing he comes out in. By itself, if it was tied to some consistent aesthetic, cool.
Yeah.
But he's got plaid liner on that on the inside of the robe, and then he's got animal print on his trunks, and he's got red boots, and then black and animal print tights.
Hold on a second.
There's just too many various things. He's got his old Titantron.
You're underselling the redness of the boots. Dude,
They're shocking. They're like not color safe.
I know. That's literally what I thought. I was like, these are burning a hole in my TV. Jack Gallagher, you have to die. I didn't know that level of red existed. It was all the red. Like he took all the red out of the cosmos and put it in his boots.
Yeah. It was like, there's no through line with his repackaging. None. I feel like.
Yeah, I was going to say like the cloak thing, but he's from Manchester.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, maybe the cloak thing was like a Scottish thing or something, or there's some sort of origin. Like, dude, here's the thing. You're going to get a bunch of tats. You're going to consider yourself a badass. It's really simple. Black trunks, black boots. That's it. That's what you do. You're no frills, no nonsense. He had cheetah print or leopard print, some print, and then like shock red.
There's too much going on.
What the hell was all that?
There's too much going on. Either do the black trunks bit or actually, like research some period gear, what 1920s underground fighters would wear, and wear that.
Leopard print?
No.
What is that?
It's too much. It's too much. And you got to drop the gentleman thing.
Like, and even the gentleman thing, I would understand if it's, hey, look, I'm like, I carry myself. What if he came out in like some business, like sort of Naito, right? He comes out in his Naito comes out in a Saturday Night Fever suit. Yeah. What if Gallagher comes out in a button up, right?
Like what he used to wrestle in.
Like what Corbin used to wrestle in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like what he used to wrestle in, but a little more easy to take off. So he's the gentleman outside the ring. When he gets in the ring, he's vicious attack guy, right?
Or if you do the gentleman thing ironically, that could work too.
Sure, yeah. But he comes out.
You need a different Tron, and I know that's his heel Jack Gallagher music. You need to ditch that. Something completely new.
Yeah. Oh, man. I couldn't concentrate on the damn match. There was that great, so he fought El Hido.
Fantasma,
yeah. There was that great bit in that match. It was a fun match.
Yeah, it was fun.
Where Fantasma does the suicide dive. And Gallagher just stands up straight, and he doesn't like catch him or anything. He just stands up straight and eats it and falls straight back. Oh, it was hilarious.
Gallagher's one of the most beguiling wrestlers because I've seen him have really, really good matches.
I know.
Where it looks like he's literally tearing people limb from limb.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of the time he just doesn't.
Just be Zack Sabre Jr.
Like that one match he had one really good match against Mustafa Ali in the second Cruiserweight tournament, and then he had one really good match, I forget against who, in the second United Kingdom tournament, where it looked like he was beating the hell. Oh, his match against Chad Gable on 205 Live that we were there for.
We were there
where
for
they were beating the hell out of each other.
Yeah,
those were all really good.
Mm-hmm.
When I really feel like that he's getting the crap beat out of him, he's beating the crap out of somebody else, it works.
Yeah,
but when he's in there just doing your basic armbar stuff, he presents himself. He has MMA experience. And he presents himself as a fighter. Like when he was with Brian Kendrick, he was talking about how cruel he was.
Mm-hmm.
And then it wasn't like he didn't wrestle a particularly cruel style.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Except on occasion. It's like if you're going to be the fighter, wrestle like that.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to see you doing basic arm bars that any wrestler does.
Mm-hmm.
Give me something creative and new that looks like you're actually really hurting somebody.
Yeah, for sure.
We missed this Robert Stone brand video package where Chelsea Green was doing some like a photo shoot by the pool, and he was kind of directing it, and eventually she came and sat next to him by the pool, and he was putting her over as face division future champion, so on and so forth.
And then Zack Ryder walks in the background. He's like, "Hey, honey, where's the peanut butter?"
Oh, he's like, "Hey, look at this new Funko Pop I got."
I'm gonna FaceTime Cody in a second.
Yeah.
I like this, man.
We feel like we're not going to talk business because we got 90 days still, but we're just going to chat things up.
Exactly. I actually really like this. This is one of the strengths of last night's NXT is that they got out of the Performance Center for certain things, and this was one of them. And I thought it really worked. I thought it was really good. It was the first time that I saw Robert Stone. I'm like, oh, I might sign with his brand. I could see that. Although I can't get out of my head what you were talking about the other week when he's like,
where he knows he's a bit of a fraud, but he's presenting himself like the real deal.
Like that was his,
he can make it happen.
That was like his nephew taking the pictures, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't tell Chelsea that.
That's his parents' house, not his.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Then we had the Gallagher versus Fantasma match. It was fine. It was cool.
Mm-hmm. I love that finish. The
fireman carry Michinoku drive.
That was rad. Yeah. That was awesome.
And afterwards, he had an interview that was all in Spanish, right?
Yeah, I was able to pick. I only had to look up one word, juntos, which means together. So, I mean, basically all he said was, together we're going to win the Cruiserweight Championship together. All the, what did he say? All the something, I don't know. But I was able to figure it out. It was fairly generic babyface stuff, but I love that he did it all in Spanish. I like that.
Yeah. Then after the announcement that we're getting Charlotte versus Mia Yim next week, he's doing a promo outside.
This was amazing. This was
arena.
so great.
And that damn SUV drives up, and a couple luchadors come out.
Yeah.
And he fights them off.
He grabs the first guy that goes after him, and he shoves him back in the car. And then the second guy that gets at him, he shoves him back in the car, and they drive off. And he starts saying, "Soy de Mexico, soy de Mexico. I'm from Mexico. You don't mess with me." That was awesome, because who just starts like, dude, I was in AAA. You guys are nothing compared to the shit that I saw in AAA.
Yep.
Oh, that was good.
Yep.
That was so good.
That was pretty good. His promo was good, too, because it was a mix of English and Spanish.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was good stuff.
Yeah, it was rad.
Finally, the main event, Velveteen Dream, Keith Lee versus Adam Cole and Roderick Strong. So faces come out, Undisputed Era come out. Fish kicks Velveteen Dream. He kind of no-sells, goes after Adam Cole. And then he goes down to ringside to confront Bob Fish.
This was
and
good.
The ref's like, "Bob Fish, get out of here." And while this is all happening, Keith Lee lays out Roddy. Damian Priest jumps the barricade, telescopes his nightstick, and then hits Keith Lee in the throat twice.
He's all...
He's making Shane McMahon noises after he gets powerbombed on a road kick.
I just like Damian Priest had like the biggest, cheesiest grin right after he did it.
He's so cheesy, man.
And then he disappeared, and everybody's like, "What just happened?" I'm like, "Oh, it's the 7-footer that's milling about over there with the nightstick."
Didn't he laugh too after he came in? He goes,
"Yeah, with the
so
nightstick."
villainous.
Turning down donuts.
So Dream's like, "Oh, I got to check my partner." He brings the ref down to check on him, the ref, and Dream called down for ref and trainers. They all check on Keith Lee, go to commercial, come back. Keith Lee has been helped back. Match begins, the 2-on-1 handicap match. Understandably, Undisputed Era dominate. Roderick Strong's working over Velveteen Dream's back, and then Dexter Lumis teleports into Velveteen Dream's corner.
The framing on this was great. It was great, and I'm so glad I was able to avoid spoilers on all this, because you see Roderick Strong has Velveteen Dream in like a headlock or something. They're doing like basically like a wrestle, and the camera, like, it goes from the hard cam on the ring, goes to them, goes to like Cole, goes back to them. Roderick Strong sort of looks up, looks back, and then the camera goes back to and he's just there. He's just there. And so Dream sees him, and he's trying to fend them off. Roderick Strong, I think, gets he gets a tag to Cole before Dream is able to get a tag, or before he's able to get to the corner. But Lumis hasn't moved; he's just there. Yeah. And then Cole brings him back, but Velveteen Dream's able to evade, and then Lumis goes like this, very slowly, reaches his hand out for the tag. Velveteen Dream gets the hot tag. He comes in and just destroys everybody.
Clears house, hits Roddy with a spine buster, Cole with a side effect. He runs the ropes. Velveteen tags himself in. Lumis takes out, because at this point, Bob Fish runs back down, even though he's been ejected from ringside. So Lumis takes out Roddy and Bob Fish with a tope. Dream hits Adam Cole with a purple rainmaker to get the win. And it was like a super short.
No, it was. It was.
The commercial was like 5 minutes long.
Yeah, it was short. It was chaotic, overbooked, action-packed, and didn't overstay its welcome. It was. That's the kind of stuff you need to have when there's no crowd. It just keeps up the intensity.
So let's take some questions. What do you say?
I think it's a great idea.
We got a couple subscribers here, PO456 and KRealm666. New subs. Thank you very much. Ryan K. Lamb, spending my birthday, which I share with Britt Baker, Moose, and John Cena, watching y'all and sipping on some whiskey on my off day from the hospital.
Britt Baker, wait, you said whiskey. Britt Baker, Moose, and John Cena?
And John Cena all share the same birthday.
That's interesting.
Jonathan says, can't wait for the inevitable, oh gosh, Kathy Kelly on a pole match. How about you guys?
Wow, Jonah, come on now. Finn Balor's mom on a pole match. Let's see here. Kenny T, power rank top 5 cry faces you'd like to see that we haven't seen before in wrestling. So the cry faces defined by us is a face that a wrestler makes if they legitimately have been owned in the ring verbally. We've seen this with The Rock when John Cena called him out for writing down his
notes on his hand.
on his arm. Yeah.
Miz several times at the hands of John Cena. John Cena's kind of the king of the modern king of cryface.
He is. Yeah.
I want to see if anybody can get Adam Cole to have cryface.
Wow.
That seems like it'd be really hard.
I wouldn't want to see that. I feel like cryface needs to be reserved for people who are... I feel like Adam Cole is, and not just because I met him and I experienced this, he's a really sweet guy.
I know he's a really sweet guy. I'm not saying I want him to actually cry because something happens to him in the wrestling ring verbally. I'm just saying I just want to... He's so quick-witted. He's so sharp. I just want to see if someone can do it. Because I don't know if it can be done.
Yeah, I don't know.
Every indication is that he's a swell guy, that he's a super cool guy.
I've seen
and that's
it
separate
personally.
from how I want his character to behave in the ring. I just want to see if it can be done. And that's usually the names that pop in my head. Like, I want to see if someone can give John Cena cryface. I want to see if it can be done.
I feel like Braun... have we seen Braun Strowman? We've seen Braun Strowman...
We've seen Braun have cryface when he forgot his lines.
It's like more like deer in headlights.
Yeah.
I'm interested in somebody running him down verbally so bad that he gets cryface. I feel like it wouldn't be
that tough.
I don't
think it'd be that tough.
I don't think it would be either. I think it'd be pretty easy. I really do.
That's why I want to see if anybody steps up to the challenge of making a really great talker have cryface.
Interesting.
Because that's got to be a challenge.
You know who I'd love to see cryface? Randy Orton. Because the more powerful they are, and he's like, in terms of people who actively wrestle, he's got to be like tops in terms of powerful wrestlers. Like with all the stroke in the world, just the most confident, cocky guy. To see him get cryface would be weird.
It would. It would be like seeing Brock Lesnar get cryface.
Oh, man. That'd be... I'm not sure. I don't know if I'd want to be in the arena for that one. He might start hurting some people if he gets cryface.
Could be. That's want to see people who you expect to never get cryface, to see if anybody could get them to have cryface.
Yeah, but here's the thing about Adam Cole, though, is that I feel like he gets cryface when there's like a tender, like a Jimmy Smits dying in NYPD Blue scene.
You don't have to go to bat for Adam Cole. We all know that he's a good guy.
Oh, man, the best.
I'm not talking about... I don't want to see Adam Cole as a man cry. I want to see his character to see if anybody can get the Adam Cole character to the point of cryface. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, but that's the great thing about cryface, that it transitions into...
It kind of does.
Shoot.
It kind of does. But I feel like Adam Cole, he's so good, it's going to be so tough to do it. And that's why I want to see if anybody can do it. Same with John Cena. I don't know if anybody can give John Cena cryface. I don't know if it's possible.
Oh, God, yeah. I don't know.
But I want to see I want to see if someone can.
All right. Fair enough.
Jonathan, Wrestling Observer, knows who the real competition is. They're probably blowing us out of the water right now. So
let's double check here. Wow, we're at 152, and they're at we ran them off the road. They're not even on right now. Look at that. We're number one.
Zondo says, bold of Johnny's new gimmick to be Seth Rollins' Twitter as a human.
We should raid. Who should we raid after this? Wait, what? Say again?
Zondo says, bold of Johnny Gargano's new gimmick to be Seth Rollins on Twitter as a human.
That's good. That's good. Should we, after this, should we raid Ricky or JD or Impact Wrestling?
Ricky.
Okay, we'll raid Ricky after this. We have to remember, though.
All right, Dominus. He said NXT cameras were following him around for 2 weeks, documenting his return to in-ring competition. Who are we talking about?
Dom? That happened to Dom? He's returning to in-ring competition?
I don't know what we were talking about the particular instance.
I don't know. He goes in one ear, out the other. Let's see.
Was
here.
it Drake they were following him around?
Oh, this is interesting. The Bandman says, did you see Lumis creeping at the end of the opening segment?
I saw someone posted on our Twitter a long shot where he was over in the corner. I didn't notice it during the actual show, though.
Man, look at that.
Diehard Homer, should Dexter Lumis come out wearing someone's face?
Yeah, obviously, yes. At least have some blood spatter on him.
Yeah, no. I'm just interested to see how they approach this, assuming they're going to push him as a face who could also be a serial killer. This could be an interesting move on their part.
I know. Where are they going to go with this? I want to know.
I don't know.
Let's see here. Blake Whitehouse. Do you think one of the heel couples will overshadow the other? So we've got Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Mm-hmm. Although people are just going to love them from the get because they're new and they're cool. They look great.
Yeah.
And of course, Johnny and Candice. Johnny and Candice might get actual heel heat.
Yeah, they might.
Maybe people really like Candice. I think people are okay booing Johnny like at the drop of a hat.
At this point, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Die Hard Homer, should Dexter... Oh, I read that one, sorry. Hugo Longheavy, Braun, Maverick, and EC3 are great friends, so Braun might have pushed for him, maybe. And the Dang MQ says, if Drake had said no, would they have used Kedrick, Davari, Lorcan, or Birch for the Cruiserweight tournament? Probably Lorcan.
Yeah, that would be my instinct, is Lorcan. Let's see here. Andrew Berg. With the increase of vignettes, in-arena interviews, and one-sided showcase matches in not only NXT but WWE as a whole, it feels very old school. Why do you think they are increasing these very character-based segments? Are they listening to the generic wrestler guy critique or going back to basics with these simpler shows or simply filling time? I think it's a mix of necessity, how things are going right now. Maybe they're just trying to mix it up a little bit because they don't have a crowd. But also, like, there was a report or a rumor or whatever that Triple H wanted to lighten things up. Maybe he didn't necessarily mean I want things more comical. Maybe he meant I want to show more dimension to character a little bit, which can be a more lightened up sort of thing.
I guess if he wants to lighten things up, I guess having Dexter Lumis lurking in the shadows somewhat comedically, I guess, is the way to do it.
Yeah.
White Brownie 92, Steve should use the Loomis picture NXT posted on Instagram as the thumbnail.
It's just a shot of him doing this.
Oh, all right.
Holding his tag hand out. Wolfpack for life. This is a great question. I still want to do a video on it. Is Dexter Lumis the most benefited wrestler as a result of the quarantine?
Yeah. He's like the perfect guy to have out there.
I wonder. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, in terms of like crowd reaction to him, I don't know what the crowd reaction would be to him.
But now when crowds come back and he shows up, he's going to get a huge pop.
I know.
Zondo, if Drake is truly released with no plans to bring him back and we still had a crowd, how hard would they be behind him right now?
A lot.
He says yes movement levels. It wouldn't be that much, but they'd be behind him.
They'd be really behind him. Especially the thing is, especially if they did it at Full Sail, I'm not going to say it's going to be, obviously Full Sail's like, what, 400 people or whatever. And so you can't have a yes movement type thing. But Full Sail, 400 strong, would be behind him.
Yeah. Dang MQ, who's more old-timey, Timothy Thatcher or Bob Fish?
Thatcher. Oh, Thatcher. Straight
Bob
up
Fish
gray
has a Twitter
t-shirt.
account. Yeah.
Gray t-shirt.
Nikyle Larson, would you like to use your hilarious dance gif in a Flim Flam video? Jericho has asked fans to record themselves doing their best Flim Flam dance. AEW will select the best one for next week's Dynamite. Nah. I don't really need to get on TV. It's fine.
It's fine. What if they reach out to you and say, hey, we saw this gif. Can you do it in it? Why are you shaking your head? Yeah, we haven't even told you the terms of the deal. Cool. Wait, why are you hanging up on me? No, good.
Enforcer just wants some Ed Edwards. It says it's been a while. Stevie, I want you to go to the local office and turn yourself in, son.
Dexter Lumis, I feel like you've got a lot of character.
This is interesting. Unbared Baker. Not a question, but I was watching NXT last night with my cousin. He says out of nowhere, that's my cousin when Fantasma came out. He then proceeds to show me pictures of them a couple years back at a family gathering.
That's really interesting. So who is it? His friend?
No, his cousin is also cousins with Fantasma.
So who is this?
Unbared Baker.
Unbared Baker is Prima de Hijo del Fantasma.
All right.
That's his new name. El Primo.
Well, I mean, he's not Fantasma's cousin. His cousin is Fantasma's cousin.
Which makes him
no, because it could be another like say this is a cousin from it could be from the opposite side of
technically you're right, but you know how loosely people use the term cousin.
Yeah, I know.
Like I've got cousin Sarah and cousin Jacob, and we treat them like they're cousins, but we're so loosely related.
Well, I was going to say, like, I have cousins on my dad's side of the family. However, they have cousins because, like, my dad's brother is married obviously, and so they have cousins on that side of the family that I don't know. I don't consider them my cousins.
Yes, but here's the thing. If you grew up with one of those people and your family was super tight, they would, in my family anyways, I'd call them cousins.
No, I don't know.
So very loosely, you can say that, what's his name? Bear something?
Unbared Baker.
Unbared Baker.
Well, that'd be more, I think, for Unbared Baker to define rather than us.
Because
obviously he doesn't know. I mean, like the premise you have of this is that if they were close with this other cousin. However, he just found out last night that his cousin is cousin with Fantasma. So based on your definition, it doesn't apply. Ryan K. Lamb
does apply. He is El Primo del Primo del. Okay, well, that's actually fine. True. El Primo del Primo del Hijo del Fantasma.
Cousin of the son of Fantasma. Yes. Ryan K. Lamb power rank.
Trying to poo-poo me, man.
Let's try to make sure you're right. Power rank top WWE NXT couples. So his top couple there's three in my mind. There's Seth Becky, there's Andrade Charlotte, and then there's Alistair and Zelina. Those are the three couples in my mind.
Okay, and what was the question?
Power rank.
Okay, Seth and Becky are on the low end because they're not going to last. They're just not.
Well, let's fill out the top five then. You got to put Johnny and Candice out there.
Johnny and Candice are top.
Put Seth Becky at 5.
Okay, let's do this in let's rank them. Okay, so power, in my opinion, is okay. So there's the power of the pull you have backstage. That's power, right? You're a power.
Well, then Seth and Becky is tops. Because you got.
I don't like that though. I don't want to put them at tops.
No. We can use whatever criteria we want.
What if we do this criteria of who has the strongest bond from the perspective of extreme outsiders like you and I, who have no information of their actual personal lives beyond what we've heard online.
I
would say the top 2 are a tie between Bianca Belair and Montez Ford.
Yes,
and Candice and Johnny.
Yeah.
It's 1A, 1B. Or 2 1As. After that, I would say Charlotte and Andrade.
Yeah. And then Alistair and Zelina. I'd put them top 5.
And Alistair and Zelina. I would say they're both tied for number 2. You know why?
Well, they'd be tied for 3rd.
Tied for 3rd. You know why? Because, and I can say this personally speaking, mi madre is muy explosive. So that can tear the fabric of a relationship apart, or it can make them even stronger. Muy volatility there. All right. So there, Andrade y Zelina, although Zelina, she seems like she's got a hot head on her. I just have that feeling. I mean, in character anyways. What are you doing?
So WWE, we'll do a news brief on this, but they just released their financials. And apparently their Q1 revenues were up 60% as opposed to Q1 in 2019.
Jeez.
I mean, because, this is the first year the TV deal really kicked in.
Yeah, right.
New TV deals really kicked in.
That's right.
Mr. Dub says Austin Theory is most benefited from quarantine.
Oh, there's a whole list of people.
Yeah, there really is. Cody Miles says, hey, friendos, hope you're all well. Hope you're well, Cody.
Hope you're well, Cody.
Nee Kyle says, shag, marry, kill, but I don't like doing that. I mean, I really like printing these questions anyways, but I'll read it regardless. Shag, marry, kill, fire, drink with the 5 members of the inner circle.
Wait, what? Do what now? Fire, marry, kill what?
So there's 5 members of the inner circle. You got shag, marry, kill, fire, drink.
Shag, marry, kill, fire, drink.
Yeah.
With.
Yeah, 5 members of the inner circle.
Okay, well, obviously you marry Jericho.
You'd have to shag Sammy, right? He's
You kill Hager.
All right. And so that leaves you 2 members of XLAX.
Ortiz is too much.
He can be a lot.
Fire him, and then Santana you have a drink with.
All right. I guess we're in agreement there. Cody says, Zelina and Black, their YouTube is so cute. I haven't watched. Have you seen Zelina and Aleister Black's YouTube channel?
No, but I've seen her on Up, Up, Down, Down. She is the most charming person.
Yeah,
she's really hilarious. She is hilarious.
Rich, Steve, can we get some Farmer Balls gameplay soon?
Yeah, I think I'm scheduling that every Wednesday.
All right. He says also I want to buy office stuff. So we got one buyer if we have a yard sale.
So I went by this morning,
Mm-hmm.
and I put aside a bunch for that's going to go to the office, and
You
then
mean the storage?
I'm sorry, to storage, and then I've got a bunch of stuff. But yeah, the old Going In Raw sign that has a big chunk out of it, that's going to go up for sale. I thought I found something else, but I did find my blow it up glasses. No reason those can't go up for sale. Put those up for sale. Sure, we can find other stuff.
Yeah, I think there's a whole box of predominantly prop stuff. We can probably go through that.
Yeah, sure. I found Jesse Gass's mustache too.
Oh, there you go.
So if somebody wants that, I mean, it was on my sweaty upper lip. It's kind of gross, to be honest with you. Anyways, is that it?
I mean, someone advocated for me to pee on the RoboCop costume too. We got a couple more. Dark Dank Lucha. What other former Lucha Underground wrestlers would you like to see in either WWE, NXT, or AEW? He says he'd love to see Mil Mortis and Katrina resurface on the scene, and even Dario Cueto, who is by far the best authority figure in the last decade. Mil Mortis is great. He's massive. He'd be cool somewhere.
Wasn't he going to be signed to who got signed? King Cuerno.
That's Fantasma.
That's Fantasma. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that.
But Phoenix, Pentagon, Prince Puma, who's Ricochet, Jeff Cobb,
Killshot was a
Matanza.
Swerve, right?
Swerve. They've all been snatched up.
Scarlett
Drago's
Bordeaux,
and-
she was there.
Yeah, Drago's in AAA. A lot of the guys were from AAA anyways, like Aerostar, Drago.
Yeah.
So they're still all there. Yeah, Mil Mortis would be great.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Dominus says, "Don't sell the Ruby figure." Stuff that people have sent to us. I don't
Anything that anybody has sent to us, we're gonna keep. Or if we did sell it, we do our best
be
to
for
get their
charity.
permission, and we'd give it to charity. That's a possibility. Before we leave, are we done with questions?
Yeah.
Before we leave, I've only shown this for the patrons, but given that Dexter Lumis has such a prominent role in NXT these days, for a spell, I don't know if he's still doing it or not, but he's a wonderful artist.
Yeah, he's really good.
And I hit him up on Instagram, and this right here is an actual drawing in ink of me and you. I got this for you for like Christmas or something. I think I got
It
it
was
for like
our
our 5-year
5th
anniversary, but it took him
yeah.
a spell to do it. And
It's
so
really good.
this right here is an actual piece of Dexter Lumis artwork. It's like one of our most prized possessions here at Going In Raw.
Won't
And
be
it's
selling
going to
that.
go back up on the set where it was before I sort of on the down low put it up there. But man, I'm so happy that they're putting him in such a prominent spot because I have a little piece of artwork of you and I from him.
Yep.
How awesome is that?
It's pretty awesome.
Anyways, thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. A little bit later, we're gonna do pin, lose, and draw for patrons. Probably around 2:30 or so.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So we'll do that. And I thought there was one more thing, but maybe. Oh, we're gonna raid Ricky.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So we'll talk to you guys later.
Show me.
But right now, we'll actually. Can I do this right? I wonder if I can do it on the air. Let's see if I can do it on the air. There's like a raid channel. It's Ricky. Here we go. Start raid. I don't know how that works. Okay, 20, 37, 49 viewers, 55. It's going to happen in 4, 3, 2, 1.
69. Nice.
Raid now.
Right now.
Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.